Red Liberator tulips are being planted everywhere this spring, marking the 75th anniversary of the liberation of the Netherlands. It was an effort that cost thousands of Canadian lives and forged a new relationship of respect between the citizens of Canada and the Netherlands. Some people will typically visit Holland for a commemorative battlefield tour, but due to COVID-19, planting tulips at home is the only option they have.
These tulips are honoring the 75th anniversary of the Liberation of Holland. The Seaforths were heavily involved in that. In fact, they were the regiment that liberated the city of Amsterdam.
The Seaforths of Canada put to rest their war-weary comrades.
Seaforths had planned a battlefield tour starting the 1st of May. We'd also planned to host in our armory here the Dutch King's birthday celebration, and this is all we've really got left are the tulips in our garden. I just knew that they were available and ordered 800 from Van Noord out in the Fraser Valley.
Even though I didn't personally experience it, I, of course, through my parents, know what happened in Holland and the sacrifice that the Canadians made. We had a wonderful program this past fall through Agriculture in the Classroom, where there was 1,100 schools across Canada that planted these Canadian Liberator tulips so that we don't forget.
What other efforts are there in Canada to commemorate Canadian soldiers out in Holland?
One of the other major initiatives that we had with our Dutch Canadian Liberation Society was to promote an organization called Faces to Graves. Holland has 3 very large Canadian soldier cemeteries. The organization Faces to Graves is looking for connections to these soldiers that are buried in Holland to provide them with their background story. People can actually visit online with these cemeteries and visit to find out what who these soldiers were, and of course to find out the ultimate sacrifice that these soldiers made for us.
Today we stand at the Grosbeek Cemetery, and behind us lay many Canadian soldiers who fought for the liberation of the Netherlands.
We're isolated in our own homes these days, but it's quite a different sacrifice than those who left their homes in 1939 to go to war. I think we can handle it.
His corps would carry on the torch handed them by their fallen comrades.
At home, I've got a couple of mason jars with some wilting daffodils in there, so I think these are going to make a nice addition to those things. Carl, how many inches of water do I put in those?
3 or 4 inches would be plenty. Just make sure they don't run out, and make sure you recut the bottoms so they get fresh water.
Great, thanks. For Fraser Focus, I'm Kier Junos.